right. And although my conscious mind still wanted to say some things it had no business saying, I was convicted by God not to say it because God promised me that He was going to fight my battles. Even if I was wrong in what I did, even when we're wrong, what do we want to do? We tend to want to fight when we're wrong as well as when we're right. Am I right about it, somebody? Y'all talk to me.
Amen.
Every time I turn this thing down, unless the Lord can give me an extra volume in my voice, I know how to turn this thing down. It sure seems loud. So, if y'all didn't get nothing out of the Institute this morning, he knocking.
Yes,
Now I'm gonna go here, Mama. You might remember this song. Christian might remember from looking at the oldies on the TV and listening to them talk about all the oldest songs when they were back in the day. You know, there were two songs that, you know, was sung by some blues singers. There was a woman that came back and she did the reverb of it on the woman style, but there was an old man that sung it first. He said, I hear you knocking, but I can't stop to let you in. She come back and she said, I hear you knocking, but I can't stop to let you in. You remember that, don't you? Everybody looking at me crazy. I can call the name of the blues singers that sung it, but it ain't really, you know, matter who did it. You know, Denise LaSalle, she came back and she did the reverb of it. Come on, y'all. I was a blues baby as well as a gospel baby. So, you know, I come up on gospel singing and blues singing.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny Taylor, he started the song off. You know, he even, you know, not only that, you know, them boys sung some other songs, you know, Cheating in the Next Room. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
What does that have to do? Behold, I stand at the door and knock. Well, somebody told somebody where they was at. And they was there knocking. And, you know, the song said, I can't stop because I'm making love to your best friend. So the woman came back and answered the same thing. When she went looking for him, she answered him in the next song. Because she came back and said, when you came looking for me, I couldn't stop just like you couldn't stop because I was doing the same thing that you were doing. Now, your best friend that she had of his, he didn't know who it was because he called everybody his best friend.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
So look at what God's saying. Because he had me preach a message about 20 years ago that using that same topic. I hear you knocking. And God knocked at a whole lot of folk heart. But how many folks stop to let him in?
Yes, yes.
God knocking at our hearts, somebody done hurt us. God knocking at our hearts, somebody done done us wrong. God knocking at our hearts, somebody done sinned against us. God knocking at our heart, we getting ready to tear them down. God knocking at our heart, we get ready to put their business out in the street. Come on, y'all, talk to me. God knocking at our heart, and he telling us to give them a kind word so that we can kindle the wrath that already have been coming. But instead of us listening at the voice of God, listening at the Spirit of God, we put the Spirit aside and say, I hear you, but right about now, I got to do this one on my own. If I let you do it, they going to feel they got away. No, they ain't got away, baby, because what you don't see God doing, God is dealing with them, and that's the problem, is the fact that because we can't see God chastising them, we can't see God dealing with them, we can't see God getting them for what they did to us. We got to make it an open spectacle to everybody to show. And then real quick to say, see, that's because God showed me. That's because God led me. I heard. Let me help y'all understand everything that you heal and feel and believe that the Lord leading you to do it ain't always the Lord leading you down that road.
That's right.
Stop blaming and saying the Holy Ghost led me there and that's how I walked upon them. That's why I found out what they were doing. That's how I figured out the password. Come on, y'all. Y'all don't need to go there because see, real quick and blame the Holy Ghost that now allowed me to remember. He let me figure it out. I saw what was going on and he revealed it. Well, let me help you understand. There are some things that God revealed, but sometimes when God revealed it, it ain't for you to do it the manner in which you do it in. He do it so that now you can get them to bring the truth out, but you won't do it that way because you want to find all the truth. And when you go and find information that you find, sometimes your mind have now went past what God have allowed you to see, and you've allowed that other spirit now to guide you in some other stuff, and you say God did it. Uh-oh, y'all got quiet on me.
Amen.
Ooh.
Right.
Because see, everything that we say the Spirit of the Lord have led us to do. Now, he revealed that something was going on. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I feel somebody on my side. He didn't reveal that something going on, but how he revealed it was not for us to go and condemn and convict. He revealed it for us to now to sit down and talk about it so that we can build and grow from it, so that forgiveness can take place, restoration can come about, conviction and conversion can happen, and we can still go down the road and nobody know that we done been through some battles, we done been through some wars, we done had some trouble, we done had some wars, we done had some ups and downs, and then nobody know we still smiling, and they don't realize the strength that we gained, but we now forfeit our strength because we go about it our way, because we lean to our own understanding. Now God has allowed a door to be open so that this can be rectified, because you asked him what's going on, show me how to do it, I really want to get this thing right, I really want to fix it. Now he done showed you what was happening so you can fix it. Now you done went in left field. See, God, you talked about, behold, I stand at the door and knock. He says, me as I love, I chasten and rebuke. Therefore, be zealous and repent. See, we don't want to be zealous. See, we are zealous in the things that we want people to see us in, because we want everybody to know how good we're doing. But we don't want nobody to know that we have done some things wrong. And the same zealous or the same zest or the same power that we had, we don't want to use that same power to get back in order. Come on, y'all.
Yes.
Do all of us that still get up and hold our head up feel like we want to hold our head down and walk away, even though we know God have allowed some things to come up to the forefront, whether we allowed it, whether we brought it, whether we told it, but now that it's there, do we want to hold our head down? Sometimes we do. And although we have now brought out all of the truth, sometimes because who we are in the flesh says, and the flesh says, walk away. The flesh says, give it up. Come on, y'all talking.
Right.
Anybody ever felt like that beside myself?
Yes.
So here, he said, behold, he told the churches, he said, look at him. He said, look at him. He said, some of y'all going to be tried many days. He said, some of y'all going to even be put in prison. He said, but be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give you a crown of life. See, some of us going to die without falling into the physical death, because some of us going to die from the character assassinations that we get. Some of us going to die from the mental anguish that we deal with. Some of us going to die from the physical ailments that take place. And not that we physically die, but the ailments in our flesh going to make us feel like we dead.
Right.
Some of us going to die from the psychological anguish that we're dealing with, because the anxiety of what has now come about because of what had taken place and what has been brought to the forefront now cause us to have anxiety attacks all the time that put us to the place that now you're having what feels like a heart attack, what feels like a stroke, because you can't handle the person that's there. Matter of fact, let me rephrase it. You can handle the person that's there, but you want to give in to the person that's coming about. But the person's supposed to push you forward, not supposed to break you down.
Right.
So he said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. That's what God gave a 7-year-old that he revealed to a 30-some-odd-year-old and broke it down for us. And we just said here like, oh, it was good. Did it just sound good, or did it brought some conviction like it did on them? Because sometimes when God deals with us and the Spirit of God begins to move and Christ begins to reveal, it's not always about you trying to prove your point that you knew something was going on all the time. Sometimes God revealed the point because some folk don't have the strength to get up from what they're in, and you have what is needed to restore them, but we don't even look at it like that as a means of restoring. We look at it as the fact that we done got hurt again. We look at it as the fact you done done me again. You look at it as the fact here I go down the same road again. What did you learn the last time you went down the road, and what lesson did you not do the last time you went down the road? And God has given you an opportunity now that you're facing the same class. Our kids repeat the same grade, but do they allow themselves to learn the information that they didn't learn the last time, or the information that they already knew that they didn't apply, or they're applying the information and are they taking the time now helping somebody along the way, because they had the opportunity to help somebody the last time they was in the class, but they didn't do it. So here now, somebody in the class suffering the same way that the last person suffered and struggled to get out, but you were left behind for a reason. There's a purpose why God allowed you to repeat. Now in that, there's a lesson to learn for yourself, but what lesson are you teaching somebody else?
That's right.
You mad because you got the same teacher. I had the same algebra teacher. I repeated the grade because I played around in class, and here my fellow students were cheating on the test, but the teacher asked me how to do the information, and I'm sleeping in class, messing around in class, playing around in class. She knew that Miss Tarver knew I knew the information, but I played around in class, and she knew I knew it because anything she asked me concerning what she did, I can tell her how to do it, I can tell her the front, the back, and all that. She said, well, John, why you not doing it? You done brought in a test and you just wrote your name on it and didn't take the test because you got aggravated in class. She said, what did I do? See, you ain't doing nothing. I just don't feel like being bothered with you today. I told her that. And my mama told me and told the teacher, since he ain't gonna be bothered, put him back in her class again. I said, now mama, why would you do a thing like that? Oh, me and that woman don't get, nah, it wasn't that me and the woman that get along, that didn't want to be bothered with the woman. To this day, me and the lady best friends. Go figure it out. But here's the repeat. This time when I got in class, I made straight A's because I did my work. But not only did I do the work, that was about 3 or 4 other folk that didn't understand what was going on. So what I should have been doing to the classmates that were cheating in class was help them to get an understanding, but I didn't. I saw what was going on, but I didn't stop. This time I told them, you cheat yourself if you cheat on the test. Take the time to get to learn the material, and if you don't know it, I asked my teacher, is it all right that I help those that don't have a problem? She said, yes. She said, and here's the funny part, John. It ain't because you repeated this class and you know the information. You knew it the last time. You just didn't do the work. So she told the class, she said, John is in here repeating this grade not because he didn't know the material, but because some of y'all gonna do like he did and get lazy and just don't want to do the work. Don't do what he did. And I told him, I said, don't do what I did, because you don't want me back in here, because y'all mama might do like my mama did and come to the school and request this same teacher. You gonna be mad. And see, y'all ain't gonna do like I did and accept the fact that I got the same teacher, but this time because I got the same teacher, I'm gonna do the work and I'm gonna like her and I'm gonna love her while it's going through, because I want to get out of her class, because I don't want to see her no more. And she fell out laughing. Because she knew it wasn't that I didn't like her. She knew it wasn't that I hated her, because I didn't. It wasn't none of that. I just didn't want to be bothered. And this is what happened on your Christian journey. I know it may sound boring. I know it may not sound like it make any sense, but this is what happened even on our Christian journey, when God allowed the same test to come again. When he allow us to be put in the same position again. Do you realize on every level that you're praying God to bring you to, every dimension that you feel God has raised you to, you asked him to enlarge your territory, now you're in a new territory. You asked him to increase your borders, and he's increased your borders. Do you realize when your borders are being increased and your territory is being enlarged, you have stronger demonic spirits? The Satan that you thought you were dealing with when the territory was only small, and it was only the circle of people that you knew. Come on, y'all. Yeah. You was only in your hometown ministry. You were only in your hometown traveling. Your job wasn't sending you here and there. You asked him to enlarge your territory. See, we got to be careful when we talk about we want to pray the prayer of Jabez and ask the Lord to increase, ask the Lord to enlarge. When that happens, you got to be ready, because now every demonic spirit that you could not fight on the level you was on, you're going to face it now stronger than before, and you're going to be asking God to take it away from you. I hear you, Holy Ghost. Stop asking and stop saying you want back everything that Satan stole.
Nope.
First of all, Satan can't steal nothing that you don't give him access to.
Amen.
Second of all, if he was able to gain access to it, whether it was unbeknown to you or you gave him access by the things that you did, by the things that you said, by the mannerism that you carried yourself in, by the association that you allowed yourself to be associated with, if he came and took it, let the boy run off with it and keep it, because God undoubtedly wanted some things to be removed. You want some things to come back that God purposely had removed. You want some friendships to come back. You want some relationships. Now here, let me make it clear when I say relationships. I'm not talking about you want to go back and date somebody. You want to go back and be married to somebody. You want those relationships that you had with certain folks because it afforded you certain things, or it gave you the company that you wanted to have, so that you was able to be at a place in position that you can do what you wanted to do and still feel like you were saved while you done the thing undercover, while you portrayed to be a cook. Come on, anybody been there beside myself?
Amen.
God purposely removed you from it because he knew your deep-seated heart desire was to honestly give him the best of you that you could, and you were tired of what was going on, and the straw that was making it so hard to enjoy that same company was your spirit man did not agree with what was going on, while your natural man was trying to compromise what the spirit was saying. That ain't right, that don't fit, that don't go, you shouldn't be doing that, let me change, let me adjust. You didn't want that.
All right.
And when God calls it disruption to take place, and the great earthquake came, and the great fire fell, and all hell broke loose, and you had no choice but to walk away.
Right.
You saw what God was doing, but you were mad because you still wanted the person. And it wasn't so much the person, it was the spirit the person was carrying. It was the leader the person had. It was the character that the person was possessing that did not line up with God. And God could not allow you to continue to taint. Because see, when anything is tainted, that means it's messed up, it ain't good. It is losing some of its strength. It's souring, it's going bad. Bacteria and viruses are coming. There's an infection that's starting to set in, and it's losing what it had before. Its glisten now has gone because it's been torn apart. So, if we didn't catch that in the foregoing of the Institute, behold, I stand at the door and knock. Out of the mouth of a baby, giving an understanding to a grown person. And God conveyed that message to all of us. If we didn't catch that, then something is wrong. So we bless God today. Thank God today. Welcome to all of you today. Thank God for all of you that weren't able to make it. Bless God that He gave us another opportunity. Thank God the start of the last 6 months of this year. The 5th day of this 7th month that start the last and final 6 months of this year. God has been multiply good to us in spite of ourselves. And one thing I definitely look at, brothers and sisters, that had it not been for God, and I want to sing so bad, but that ain't what God taking me right now. I want you to try me right now in my spirit. I want you to try God at what I'm saying. It's just God has been so good throughout this year in spite of all that have happened. How many of y'all know folk been looking for you to stay down when they found out you were down? They were looking for you to stay sick when they found out you were sick. When they found out something was going on, they were really praying that God continued to whip you. God continued to bother you because they knew you had going through some things, and they finally figured the Lord had been caught up with you, and they were hoping and they were pressing down, and you knew no matter how much you pressed your way through, no matter how much you prayed your way in, and how much you trusted God for, something just kept seeming to fight against you, because that was the prayers of those supposed righteous folk praying unrighteous prayers against you, that you stayed where you were, or that you found a demise in what was going on. Come on, y'all. Let me call it what it is. We're going to go into text in a minute, but let me call it what it is, because this has been bothering me in my spirit. And you got all of these righteous folk.
Come on.
These saved folk. And I'm hard on the body because we talk this talk every day. God don't need your lips to talk holiness. He's looking for you to begin to live holiness. And if by chance, while you're going through, if by chance on your Christian journey, you stumble, you sin, you fall, you falter, God not looking for you to stay down. He's looking for them saved folk that say, I got your back, I'm with you till the end, I'm going to be there no matter what. He's looking for them folk to now really put their money where their mouth is, and put their mouth where their words were, and pick you up. I got you covered. I know what you did. You the first one to put out what they did. You just like those that accused the woman in the 8th chapter of the Gospel of John. You ready to go run and say the law said. See, this is why the church falling into this, and because of this, that, and the third. And you see, that's why we have a problem now. The preacher this and the preacher that, the pastor this and the pastor that. And every time you look up, the man of God, the woman of God, they're doing this and they're doing that. And you're wondering why people don't want to come to the church. Well, let me put a peg right there. Let me put this public service announcement out there. It ain't always because of what the man or woman of God does. It's what your mouth is going out there saying because of what the man or woman of God did. And why people don't want to come to the church is because the church ain't standing with one another as they should. They're tearing each other down. The world stands with its own, even when it's all messed up. Let the world sin. I guarantee you ain't too many folks don't know what's going on. Look at our federal government. There's a whole lot of cover up that going on. And our government don't hear all of that.
Amen.
Until they want to point somebody out. But even in that, they still have government rules that protect them so that they're really not put all the way out.
Right. Right. Come on.
Come on, y'all. In the church, the reason why folk don't want to come to church, it ain't always because the pastor done wrong. He done slept with somebody, she done slept with somebody. They done found out they done done some kind of wrong or some kind of sin. But it's the mouths that come against the local body that makes the whole body look bad.
Amen.
Then you go establish your own denomination and non-denominational because you want to dominate and you want to be dominant over something and you want to be separate from the body. Because what happening, instead of being spiritual as you are and restoring the body, bringing everybody back into the rightful knowing fellowship of what the apostles did in the first century church, we don't do that.
Right.
We're going to talk about these lips in a minute if y'all ain't caught it. I already gave y'all the introduction.
Oh, yes.
Here's the point that I'm trying to make as we get ready to move into the message. Isaiah chapter 6 beginning at verse 4. Here's the point I'm trying to make. If we are to draw folk in, he said, with loving kindness have I drawn thee. We use loving kindness to those that we feel have the same aptitude, have the same motive, or about the same things that we're about. We know this because there's a familiarity about them that we're drawn to, and we think that it's the Spirit of God a lot of times. God draws to some folk because, yeah, there are some familiarities in them that are still in us, but that familiarity that's in them and in us is so that we can together now begin to diminish what these things are and grow together. But we never recognized the reason why we're drawn was not just because there was a familiar spirit, but that was so that deliverance can take place for the both of us.
Yes.
Here's what the body don't do. We'll start our own denomination, our own religion. We'll have our own religious sect, and we won't fellowship with nobody because we're too busy growing what we want to grow, and we're talking about we're a part of the body. Well, first of all, your hair can't grow if it ain't on your head.
That's right. That's right.
Your arm can't grow and stay alive if it's not attached to your body.
That's right.
Come on, y'all.
Right.
You cannot have free-flowing blood unless there's a heart to circulate the blood throughout the body. And that pump on the inside got to be working, right?
Yeah.
Some folk, when they cannot find a matching heart that will match to their DNA, that will connect to their body, the body will accept. Even when they put a heart pump in their body to pump the blood to make sure they stay alive, even with the heart pump, the body still fights against the heart pump because it accepted as a foreign body and it has to adjust. So there are different things that they have to do in the course of the first 6 months of having that pump in that body, having that other heart from somebody else in that. Come on, y'all talk to me.
Amen.
Because see, your kidney is referred to as a heart. Uh-oh. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? Because if the body really is the body of Christ, I'm wondering now, all these spiritual folk, and we come up with all of these names. We want to follow all of these different things. We want to go back to some of the customs that the Jews followed. We want to deal with this and we want to deal with that. But are we really dealing with bringing the body together? Because our natural man, if we can't get what we want to get, if we can't get who we want to get, and if we recognize what we wanted to get while we sat back and waited to get it, and we recognize we ain't going to get it, we going to find a reason to pull away and say, well, because of the person and the Lord told us to pull away. No, the reason why you pulled away was because you couldn't get what you wanted to get, but you were still doing what you wanted to do while you waited on the thing that was coming, while you tried to make them believe you were doing nothing apart from what you said, and that you were so holy, you were so single, you excited that they were doing whatever they were doing while you waited for your opportunity and chance. But when your opportunity and chance didn't come, you started destroying. How did you start? You started gradually pulling away. The faithfulness that you had began to diminish. All of the stuff that you were pushing and that you were really up for, that you really wanted to do to help it to build and grow, you backed away from it. You thought nobody was going to recognize it. You thought God was going to keep it undercover by you using the excuses of what you started dealing with in the natural. You held up some other folk from being a part because your agenda did not fit theirs, and their agenda did not fit yours. Their agenda was really about the things of God, while you tried to make your agenda about the things of God, but your agenda was really natural from the all right. Because in the body,
God gave us all of what we needed, and he tried to show Israel under the law how these things fit. So he came now, and Christ came to fulfill the law in the prophets to show them what these things really were, how they were really to be. He knew while he was in this natural flesh, when Adam stepped outside of his will, when Adam decided to step in his will from the will of God, and he moved himself from the place of sanctification, moved himself from the place of complete holiness, moved himself from the place where he had a glorified being, where there was nothing that was wrong in him, where there was no sin that could enter into him. He stepped out in his own will from the will of his Father, because he was just like his Father, but he didn't stand as his Father stood. He decided to stand like he wanted to stand, because he stood against what he knew what was right. Come on.
Right. Amen.
And when he did that, he stepped in his own will. When he stepped in his own will, he stepped out eternity into time. He set time into place when he stepped out of God's will. When he stepped out of who God was in him and who he was to God, he stepped out of eternity and he stepped into himself. When he stepped into himself, he set time into Did y'all catch that?
Oh, yes.
He set time into array. In other words, where there was no time and there was just plain eternal existence, there just was there, and things just kept rolling, and there was no stopping point to it because it was infinite. Now he became finite because he set a beginning and an end to himself.
Yes.
I hear you, Holy Ghost.
Yes.
I'm just going as he gives.
Yes.
And y'all can try the Holy Ghost if you want, even those of you that are watching, because he set himself to that. So here's the whole stage. And we're going to talk about lips, because lips got Adam in trouble in the garden. Because lips got Eve in trouble in the garden. Those lips set the stage for what we're dealing with now. And lips still are getting us in trouble, because all somebody got to do is allow the forefront of their mind to be captivated by something that gets his attention, allow it to begin to fester in the thoughts, and then when their mouth said they would set the stage, they were planted the seed.
All right.
Let me go to Isaiah chapter 6.
My God.
Son, when you watch this here, I'm not trying to go to Isaiah chapter 6 because you done preached it the last few times, but whenever you do watch it, John, it ain't got nothing to do with it. It just happened to be that I asked God where to go, and this way he said to go. So I know you've been talking about Uzziah, and I know you've been dealing with Uzziah, but I want you to know Daddy ain't trying to outdo you in what you did. You did what God told you to do. Daddy's going to do what God told him to do. So this ain't got nothing to do with what you did. You did what God said, now I got to do what God told me. So I want to put that announcement out there for anybody think that I'm trying to outdo my son. I can't do what he do, he can't do what I do.
That's right.
But we can't do what God say do.
That's right.
So Isaiah chapter 6, beginning at verse 4. When you have it, say I have it.
Amen.
You'll find these words, and the post of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Verse number 6, it says, Then flew one of the seraphims, or the seraphims, unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongues from off the altar. And he laid it upon my mouth, and said, Lo, this hath touched thy lips, and thy iniquity is taken away, and thy sin is purged. Verse number 8, it says, And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, Here am I, send me. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, as Isaiah said, but the word of our God shall stand forever. We don't talk about lips. We'll simply talk about lips. L-I-P-S. Lips. Grandma gave us, and I believe Pastor Joyce, you put out, or Minister Morgan, you put out, one of y'all put out something about the fact that we all have lips, or something to that effect. And with those lips, we all say a whole lot of stuff. But in saying the stuff that we say, sometimes these same lips can say things that can either raise a person or kill a person.
That's right.
They can build them, as you just said, or can tear them down. Right? It could either cause blessings or it can cause curses. Now I want y'all to hear that this morning. This message for everybody, because they catch it young
and old, because young lips say some things as well.
Right.
And sometimes young lips say things out of turn because they haven't really thought through what is there, and because of what they've heard others say, and in the time frame that others have said it, they find it expedient to say it when they say it, but they don't realize how offensive sometimes it is, or how it really hurt when they bring it out of their mouth.
Right.
Am I right about it?
Right.
So today we gonna deal with lips because God gave us, my grandma said it like this, said God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. She said you might have a top lip and a bottom lip, but you still got 1 mouth.
Right.
She said the purpose was, and talking to my great grandmother that is, she said the reason why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth was the fact that we ought to hear more and talk less.
Right.
The writer says, the preacher says, in Ecclesiastes, he says we ought to be swift to hear and slow to speak. But in the world that we live in, from the time of Adam's mess up in the garden, from the time of Eve transgressing in the garden, both against Adam and against the law of God, lips have got us in trouble.
Right.
Lips have caused many folk to either be put in the grave, cause folk to lose their lives, cause folk to be put in jail, cause folk to get hurt bad, cause relationships to die, cause relationships to have continual trouble. You've been together 30, 40 years, but because the lips of somebody else have said some things, you struggle when you shouldn't have struggled.
Right.
Are y'all gonna pray with me?
Amen.
What does that have to do with Isaiah chapter 6? Well, Isaiah's lips got him in trouble because the first 5 chapters are a prelude to him preaching, but him not fully believing. They're a prelude to him doing what God said do. But because lips had him at a position where he did not fully grasp and understand everything that God had called him to do, he spoke the truth of God, but he lived it half-heartedly.
Right.
All right.
Well, preacher, what are you talking about? That ain't what I read. That ain't my theological concept. That ain't what theologians have said. Well, theologians have done the research on it, and the church fathers have looked at the fact, and they found out that Isaiah didn't get his full Great Commission until the 6th chapter when Isaiah got out. Come on, y'all.
Right.
Uzziah died when he saw the Lord, when he really seen God for who he was, when he recognized that all he could depend on was the word of God. See, real quickly quote what Moses said in the book of Deuteronomy, what Jesus quoted in the book of Matthew chapter 4, the book of Luke chapter 4, in the gospel writings, real quote, that man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. We talk about what comes from the lips of God, but do we really believe what comes from the lips of God?
All right.
In the text, Isaiah said that he saw the doorpost, when he saw the temple set, he recognized that when God spoke, that things began to move. When God spoke, it caused the earth to stand still. David said that all the earth be silent. God is in this holy temple. Let the earth be silent. Let it bow down before God. Do he really bow down when God's presence show up? Some folk don't even recognize the presence of God. Some folk can't even recognize the voice of God as the voice of God begin to animate itself and take over the vessel in which is opening their mouth to speak, because what we see is the messenger, but we don't hear the message that is coming out because we don't believe that the messenger is being empowered by the Spirit of God.
Yes.
Isaiah said he saw some things, and he saw the ministering angels. He saw some seraphim or some seraphim. He saw the fiery angels that was around God's throne. They were there all the time. They moved at a moment notice. They were ready to do what God said do. When he said move, they were ready to move. And they moved with expedience, and they carried out just what God said. And they were on a flame of fire because they burned in their passion to do what God said do.
Amen.
Are y'all okay with me?
Yes.
He said, I saw him high. In other words, there were some things that had to be moved in. And I'm curious today as we talk about lips, because, see, sometimes lips will say some things to get your attention. Lips will be said and say some things sometimes to spark a conviction in your heart.
That's right.
So sometimes lips will be said to convict you of your own self while you think they're convicting other folk of themselves.
That's right.
Come on, I'm talking
Right,
about
right.
Come on.
because Isaiah recognized anytime the presence of God comes, those that really have been able and have recognized that they've been in the presence of God, you recognize how unworthy you really are.
Yes.
Right.
To
two things that happened in the text when Isaiah said, woe is me, I'm undone, I'm a man of unclean lips. He recognized that at one point he thought that he was going to die. But because it had been said, it had been told, and even in this day and time, whenever God showed up himself, it was said that you would die. That a man could not stand and live in the presence of God, but that too many tales that tell that when God showed up, that there was some that lived. Moses can tell you, Daniel can tell you, come on y'all, John can tell you, that when he showed up, it might have caused their flesh to fall as dead, but when he touched them with his hand.
Amen.
Isaiah here in the text, he recognized the fact that God spoke. And when God began to open his mouth, the earth got to move because the earth is his footstool.
That's right.
Am I right about it? And when you look at lips, you know, we got a top lip, bottom lip, some of us got skinny lips, some of us got big lips, some of us got fat lips, some of us got juicy lips, some of us got lips that don't look like lips at all. Come on, y'all. Some of our lips say things that are seasoned and coupled with understanding, coupled with knowledge, coupled with wisdom. There is a season where they will be gratifying, graceful, merciful, full of love, understanding. They will be justified in what they did, and there's no motive behind what the lips say. They really are trying to get you to the next level, get you into a new position, bring you to the place where God really wants you to be, help you to recognize what it is that you've done, but not tear you down, but while saying the things that are there, they're not meant to hurt you, they're meant to build you.
Right.
But then there are others with their lips.
Come on with it.
They couldn't wait for the juicy message to be given. They couldn't wait for the information to be brought about. They couldn't wait for the tale to be told. Because some folks ain't gonna boil in the table down. They ain't gotta be sitting down at your table waiting the table for you. They ain't gotta be now be the waiter or the waitress. They can be walking on the side, you're talking to you on the telephone, texting you on your phone. Come on, y'all. Emailing you, messaging you on Facebook. Come on, y'all.
Right.
Y'all talk to me now.
So true.
Put messages on your page. Sitting little innuendos on your page. Or posting little innuendos so that they can send out a subliminal message. In other words, let me send the message I want to send, but I don't want you to know that what I am saying, because I want you to catch what it is that I'm putting out there. Because there may be some other folk that's looking, that's reading, that's listening. So for them not to realize what it's saying, let me say it in a way that you should catch it.
Right.
But Isaiah said he was undone. And I want to know today how many of us recognize how undone we are. You done got the latest information. You done found out your girlfriend cheating on you. Found out your boyfriend cheating on you. Found out your husband running around on you. Found out your wife running around on you. Found out your pastor ain't doing no good. Found out your pastor is up to no good. Find out they really don't care about you. Heard that he said he don't really give a darn about nobody in there. He just care about the fact that the seats are full, to make sure that they pay their tithe, make sure they get their offering. He give them a word that they think they want to hear. And every time he give them what they want to hear, because he learned some spiritual psychology. She learned spiritual psychology, and people are just dumb. They're ignorant. They just want you to tell them something to make them feel good. They're not really worried about whether or not you get up, you get out, whether or not you grow, whether or not you're able to move forward, whether or not you receive what it is that they say. But what they're concerned about is that you keep giving them what they need to get, and they're getting fat. And they forgot the word said, woe to ye shepherds that have scattered my sheep abroad. Oh, and here's the sad part of that. Here go those lips in the church that will blame the shepherd for scattering the sheep, when they now see the scar in the body of Christ. Oh, they didn't put the word out.
That's right.
They didn't say what they heard. They didn't say what they were privileged to. They was in the meeting when it was said, and they now gained some folk on their side because they're trying to build their own ministry. They're trying to lead some folk astray. They're trying to get back because they were not involved. They felt left out.
Wow. My Lord Jesus.
Well, when you were made privy to it, you didn't use it the right way. You had an ulterior motive. You had an underlying motive. You had a deceptive motive. You were not right from the beginning. God gave you an opportunity because when you thought the leader was ignorant, blind, crippled, and lame, didn't see your game, they proved it out when you came because God showed it to them. And He loved you, she loved you, just the same. And they said words for you to catch, but you didn't catch it, baby.
Amen.
Because you sat down at the table.
Amen.
Amen.
See, they got some folk that married to the man or the woman of God, sleeping in the same bed with him every night, getting up and eating at the same table with him every day, riding down the highway with him every day, and their lips are saying one thing when they company together, but they're destroying the man and woman of God behind their back.
Wow.
Lord Jesus.
They're saying things to now make the people disbelieve and disregard and disrespect the man or woman of God. I know them because I lay with them every night. I'm with them all the time. You don't know what I know. You don't recognize they ain't no good at all. They're portraying. Come on, y'all.
Wow.
He said, I'm undone. And I dwell among the people with unclean lips. Boy, you don't know him, private girl. Let me tell you, man, my wife might be the pastor, she might be the apostle or the prophet, but let me tell you, when she get mad, boy, you don't know the things that she said to me. You don't know the things that she said about some of y'all. Come on, y'all.
Wow.
Y'all will pray with me now?
Yes.
Well, among the people of unclean lips, some of y'all saved and on your job, but you won't say these things around folk that are saved. They go to the same ministry that you go to. But while you're on your job, you dog folk out. You put folk in bad positions. You scandalize their name. You run through the muck and mire of clay. You bury them in the grave. You kill their character. You make sure you diminish who they are.
Yes.
Yes.
You cause folk to look at them with an eye of disrespect.
My God.
And a murderous mind, because of what you say, lips will get you in trouble.
Yes.
Talk about what your lips ain't on. Talk about what your lips ain't been against. Talk about what your lips ain't been touching. Talk about what your lips ain't been kissing. Talk about what your lips and tongue ain't licked upon. Come on, y'all.
My God, my God.
Why are you coming out talking about the things of God?
Come on, come on.
Come on, y'all.
Come on.
Been down that road. Now they'll say, woe is me.
Yeah.
I've been preaching, but when you get in the company of certain folk, you know how you feel comfortable. You feel at ease. You feel justified. You feel all right. See, some folk ain't gonna like this message because we got preachers that get in the pulpit, and when we get out the pulpit, when we get from behind the sacred altar, when we get from behind the sacred desk, there are things that we say in private, there are things that we say in our inner circle, those that we feel that are close to us, that are comfortable. Come on.
Yes.
We got folk that are supposed to be our own, that are our concubines.
Come on.
Y'all.
Right on with.
And when we can't give to them, we'll talk about them so bad and make them feel so low that they give themselves up, and we'll do whatever we want to do to them that we ain't going to do to the one that we say we love.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, y'all really
That's
put it
right.
down. But we talk about all of these different things. Our lips are against all of the things that are going. Let's look at our modern day right now. Let's look at what's going on in the world right now. The Southern church now trying to condemn. We know gayism is, homosexualism is an abomination before God. But are we preaching salvation? Jesus crucified and risen and on his way back. Are we really showing love to teach them that God said, yes, I love you, but I need you to come out. Yes, I love you, but you can't be delivered. Yes, I love you, but I don't like what you're doing. I understand it might take some time. I realize that you still suffer with the desire. You still have some urge. Is there anybody out there that's preaching the word to help them bring the urge under control?
Right. Yes, Lord.
See, this will bring out the thing that now cover up what we're doing.
Right.
How do I know I've been down that road? Because when I was the one that was doing the whole lot of whoring and everything, and they'll say I'm still whoring now because of my demeanor and my character. Yes, I've done some things on this journey. I've done some things in this year. I've done some things in this last year. But you have to understand, when you have an spiritual encounter with God, God will convict you.
Yes, we
But
are.
are you willing to be converted when the conviction comes?
All right.
Right.
And hear everything before God exposes you. He will privately deal with you. And when God has something for you, and when God still want to use you, He will bring certain folk that now they might be hurt by what's going on, but their whole motive is to see you converted and converged.
Right.
Yes.
Come on, y'all.
Right.
Yes.
Lips.
Yes.
Isaiah said, listen, I'm the preacher. I'm the prophet. He had access to the king. He was able to go in the Uzziah court, and he had to put in the word for them to give him 2 or 3 days notice to the king. And then the king sent notice back 2 or 3 days later and said, I'm going to give you orders. When Isaiah showed up at the king's house.
Right.
When he showed up at the palace, you know how some folk feel that they're entitled because their list, that's my cousin, that's my boy, that's my girl. Oh, they know me so well. I know the judge, I know the sheriff, I know the president, and I'm going to call them. I got them on speed dial, baby. I press a number, and they're going to pick up from me anytime they're going to come to me. When they pick up, and they're going to ask, who is this?
All right.
Y'all don't pray with me now?
Amen.
See, Isaiah thought that he had it made, because that's how some of us are, because we close to the man or the woman of God until God begin to tell us, break it off, cut it off. You got to begin to remove yourself. They don't mind the things of God like you mind the things of God. They've gotten used to how they enjoy things in the natural, and they don't want to see you continue to go up in the spiritual, because they like right where they are. She lives to say that you can't discern between God and man. You can't discern between the spirit and the natural. You don't know the difference when natural things need to be handled. Natural and spiritual things need to be handled. That's what Lips would say.
Right.
Are y'all gonna pray with me?
Yes.
But see, real Lips will recognize the fact that we handled this according to the natural the first time, and that's what got us in the place that we in now. So our lips need to change our conversation. Our mind need to shift our thoughts, and in shifting our thoughts, we need to both recognize we ain't done.
Right. That's right.
We ain't no good.
Amen.
We ain't good for nothing. We ain't worthy of nothing. But look at God. Just like Isaiah, when he brings conviction, he brings conversion, and the first thing he does, he changes what our lips say.
Right.
Oh, y'all didn't catch that one, because see, Moses recognized that when he found himself on the backside of the Sinai Peninsula, and he saw the burning bush, and that it was not consumed. The first thing God told him to take his shoes off. When he took his shoes off, Moses' mouth changed from how he used to speak to differently.
Right. Yeah.
Y'all can pray with me?
Right. Yeah.
David, in all that he did and how he was the apple of God's eye. But when David found himself in a convicted state, and he found the only way to get the presence of God back was to get to a place of being converted, and in being converted, it changed what his mouth said in his prayers that he prayed, in the Psalms that he wrote. He started out praying God. He started out blessing God. He was in obedience to God. But then his words changed. His mouth changed to praising God.
Yes.
Are y'all gonna pray with me now? Lips would change when God set a coal on your mouth, and see, all the fire meant that it was pleasure. See, fire is a pleasure. Fire is a cleanser. Fire begin to change things, because when fire burns something, it cleans everything out.
Yes.
If I set the grass on fire out there right now, you got little patches of what we call in the country called bull grass, and they're being growing clumps, and you got good grass everywhere. But if I burn the whole yard gonna have what is called some seed grass. Ain't gonna have no bad grass. Everything gonna be like a carpet. Because they're going to burn the bad seeds out that can come up. And that's only because the birds pick a little seed here, pick a little seed there. And when they come and eat, y'all drop seeds here, drop seeds there. The birds that fly around, they drop seeds from everywhere. So you got to mix the grass everywhere. Our mouths pick up words from here, pick up words from there.
Yes.
But when the fire of the Holy Ghost
My God.
really begin to burn, you can start all the conversation. Dogging folk, belittling folk, calling folk everything but a child of God.
Right.
You can start off telling them where they can get off at, where they're wrong at, all the wrong they done, how no good they are, how worthless they are, how they look no good from the start, how they motive was always to get what they wanted to get, and how selfish they were, and how selfish they were in getting what they wanted to get, because you feel hurt. You are hurt. Y'all gonna pray with me? Don't get quiet now. Don't hang up on me now. I'm almost through, because Isaiah here in the text, he said, well, anybody really got some folk around you that talk holy but really act unholy? They talk righteousness, but you see very little application of the righteousness. Let me put a big here for all of you sanctified righteous folk that will hurry up and justify the fact that you don't act like that. With your same sanctified self, you are not in the Holy Ghost all day long. First of all, your sinful flesh, your sinful mind will drive you one place. If the Holy Ghost was on you that day, you would not be able to stand. You would be in somebody's insane asylum.
Amen. Amen.
So there are points where the Holy Ghost might be talking, but he ain't willing to keep you in the place of holiness, in the place of complete righteousness. That's where your maturity now supposed to kick in, and your mouth is not just to talk it, but your walk supposed to show it.
Yes.
He said, I dwell among the people with unclean lips. I'm in the church. We didn't just have worship. Pastor just finished preaching. Psalmist just finished singing a song. Dancers just finished dancing. Praisers just finished praising. Musicians just finished playing skillful and cunning, and the Satan is weak. His instant showed up.
That shows.
Because he can't be everywhere at the same time. So his angels of demise. His demons of destruction. His angels that are sent on assignment to send a destructive word. To send derision in the church. To send division. Notice I said derision and division. He had them speaking these words out of the same mouth. They speak blessings and curses. So Isaiah said, well, among the people of unclean lips. But my eyes have seen the King. He said, not only did I see the Lord God, but I saw Jesus, the Lord of hosts. And while seeing him, what my mouth used to say, I watched his ministering angels fly down to the altar of sacrifice. And here's the thing about the lips. The lips are the third place that sacrifice begins. The first place is in your mind that you ought to begin to sacrifice. The Bible says, the Word of God says that we ought to sanctify the Lord God in our hearts.
Yes.
And that signifies in your mind, you ought to not only set him apart, but he ought to be a complete part.
Yes.
The third place where the altar of sacrifice is should be in your thoughts. Have I witness here?
Yes.
But because your thoughts are now where you ought to be meditating on the Word of God. And if that is a place of sacrifice, an altar of sacrifice, your thoughts now have to be laid down so they can become the thoughts of God.
Right.
That's why Isaiah said later on that your ways are not my ways and my thoughts are not your thoughts. And that's why our lips can say any old thing because they don't really line up, and we don't want them to line up with the thoughts of God. Hallelujah, witness here. And if our mind and our thoughts are the offer of a place of sacrifice, and if it really is burning upon the table of sacrifice, and the coals are burning high, and our mind is really led by the Spirit of God, then our mouths will now say clean things. Isaiah said he saw the seraphim, the seraphim, the fiery angels of God, the ministering angels of God. They fly around the throne of God. They wait for the word of God. They move at what God say. They carry the very message of God. Verbatim, word for word. They do just what God says. They don't deviate in any kind of way, because if our mind is the first altar of sacrifice, if our thoughts is the second offer of sacrifice, then when our thoughts begin to come to a place and we copulate the words that will come out of our mouth, then our lips become the third place of sacrifice, and our body now become the final place of sacrifice, because our lips will say what our body begin to do, and if our lips say what our thoughts now have lined up with what God has to say, and it's burning by the fire of the Holy Ghost, because the fire of the Holy Ghost now have burned out all the propaganda that have now been set before us to see the negative things and not see the things of God, then we will act accordingly, and our lips will now bring complete blessing.
Right.
And when we say stuff, it's not for our own personal means of causing folk to be convicted, but they will be convicted by the words that come out, because they're governed, they're guided, they're led, they're filled with the power of the Holy Spirit. So Isaiah said he saw these things and he laid it upon his lips. And here's the good thing about it, is that he said he was purged. He said his iniquity was taken away and his sin. The thing about it, when we come before God, is that we come before God thinking that we're so right, but we have to ask God to forgive us in mind and body, conscious and subconscious, emotions, all kinds of levels of emotions, so that we can be prepared to be the vessel that's fit for the Master's use.
Yes, Lord.
Just because you have sinned does not automatically disqualify you to be used by God.
Amen.
You're just right for God if you ask God for forgiveness, because He's going to show you how to take the thing that you did, not to grow and not to seem so big, but to show how that this is what happened and this is what could have took place. But the grace and the mercies of God gave me a chance now to put myself on Front Street. So while you're sitting me on Front Street, you should be convicted because you were doing the same thing. You might not have got caught. You might not have been exposed. You might not have been deceived. But here it is, you doing it right now. So have you been convicted by what you've done?
Right.
And in your conviction, have you allowed Him to lay the coals upon your lips? Some of us say some things now. The reason why we've destroyed folks' lives and we've gotten out of relationships and we no longer in marriages because our lips have been still pitted up against stuff. We put our mouth on a whole lot of stuff.
Yes.
See, the first thing people will think about putting our mouths on folk naturally and putting our mouths on them in the natural when it comes down to other things. But our mouths are put on folk by what we say.
Amen.
That's right.
Yeah, we can quickly say, as the comedians say, get your mouth off of it, but we keep our mouth on it, and we wonder why we're going through what we're going through, dealing what we're dealing with, suffering the way we're suffering, because we got our mouth against the man or the woman of God. And instead of asking God to forgive them, instead of asking God to bless them, we want them to suffer just like we feel like we're suffering.
Yes.
Stop trying to make folks suffer so much. You're spiritual. You're saved, right? You've been saved by the grace of God, right? You asked Jesus to come in, right? You confess with your mouth. You believed in your heart that the Lord Jesus Christ died, rose, and seated at the right hand of God, right? You called upon His name while He yet may be found. He not only didn't make you saved, but He saved you out of your sins. And in that, if that is the case, you now begin to grow in knowledge and in the grace of God and in your maturity that you grow in. From the knowledge that you apply, it might have hurt you, it might have affected you, it did hurt you, it did affect you, but in that you ask God to forgive you, you ask God to heal you, but you're asking God to kill them. You haven't verbally said it, but how you have responded, how you have said, how you have spoken, suggested to God you wanted God to kill them. You even said, I hope they die. I don't care that they sick. I don't care that they down. I hope they don't never get up. They ought to be suffering the way they suffer. They ought to suffer worse than that. And here you say, now you find yourself in a bad position.
Yes.
You're convicted in your holy self, in your sanctified self. You want to call them and ask them to pray for you so bad, but you feel ashamed because you know what you said and you don't know if you had gone back to them and then you would have said some stuff to them. You would have cussed them out lower than a dog.
Come on with it.
You would have called them a dog.
Come on.
You don't want to let go. You still want to be a part. But you feel left out because they're not allowing you to be a part as you once was. Because you become as Peter, you spoke the great confession, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. God tells you flesh and blood. God will reveal that the person is of Him. God will show you dreams and visions that they come from Him. They are of Him. Where they came from. How His power is in Him or her. And you don't forget all of that. And you get just like Peter. You don't mind the things of God, you mind the things of the world. And the world say destroy them because they hurt you. Destroy them because they sin against you. Kill them because they've done it. Or they just waiting for another chance to do it. Or they done it before. And here it is, they done repeat it again. It ain't nothing but a cycle, child. I'm sorry. You might want to get them before they get you. You know the Bible say do unto others before they do unto you. No, He don't mean get them before they get you. He means show them how to treat you so that they would know how to do it. Oh, I done been doing it. I've been showing it. Some folk need a little bit more lesson than other folk, because you can tell that they have been sorry for what they have done, and they begin to change, not say change, but they begin to operate in the change. But you so stuck with your eyes over what they did and how they did it, and the fact that they done some of the same things again. Your eyes can't see the change going on before you. The metamorphosis is happening right before your eyes, but you can't stand that. You don't want to see that. You get like Jonah, and you're mad because God done converted, God done convicted, God has restored, God has saved, God has elevated, God has started blessing. You want God to destroy them. Lips. Now your juniper tree. He done sent the canker worm where you had some shade. Here's the example to y'all that may not catch it. You got too much heat going on that you wondering where the shade went. You wondering, I've been praying, I've been doing my tithe, I've been doing my offering, I've been treating people right.
Come on.
He good. He all right. He all right. Let him know right now. He all right. He ain't bothered. He good. He right in the vein. But here's the problem: is that you really didn't let go of what the person did. Or what the persons have done. Because see, sometimes it could be multiple people that have added up, and the one person that come and do the same thing again have only rehashed all the stuff that you say you got rid of. What you did is you just turned your back to it, but you never let it go. You held on to it. That's right. Some folks, their mouth, see, lips will say, I forgive you. But mentality and actions and psychological characteristics will prove that you really have it. Because had you really did it, you would be throwing pot shots at folks. Because you're thinking about what you're doing, but you really want to get your word in. You really want to throw it out there, but you don't want them to know that's what you're doing. And then when they realize that that's what you're doing, and that's what you have been doing, and they tell you, you get mad. Don't misinterpret this. Then you want to cry. You want to whimper. You want to moan. You want to beg. You want to say, I'm sorry. So don't nobody misinterpret, because that's what people do. Not just individual people do that. But when you really forgave folk, you're telling them, look, we done got past that. The only way for us to continue to get past that and really get to a place that we can really put this behind us and we can look at it and talk about it and laugh about it. Not laugh because it's something to laugh at, but laugh at the fact that now it's behind us and look at where we have gotten because we have really put this behind us. We got to really move forward. So some things we got to stay away from a little while because we ain't strong enough to deal with it now. That's why he said, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separated. But see, lips will bring you back into it. All you got to do is start off.
Use it as a bridge. Use it as a bridge.
See, we think that when Paul said, don't get grudgingly, nor of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver. Are we cheerfully loving folk? Are we cheerfully saying things to folk to really build them? Or are we grudgingly doing it and saying, I'm just doing this playing, or I'm just joshing, I'm just joking, I was just playing with you. But see, you were saying it grudgingly while you were laughing, but in your heart, you were really hurt. They felt what you said because you really meant it to hurt. Lips. You're right about it. And we saved. We in the church. And we haven't let go nothing. That's why the church with its lips have not been able to come together as God wanted. We see all the things that are happening, but we put our mouths on the wrong thing. Instead of really coming together as one body should. Laying down our titles and our denominational ramifications and religiosity things that we have. We won't lay that down and come together as one. We won't even lay down the bigotry of looking at another person's skin to come together as one. Our mouths talk about how we're together, but our actions show that we are still segregated one with another.
Amen.
We're still separate. We might come together in the same church, but our mind and our thoughts are segregated because we're waiting for the benediction to be given. You go your way because of your color. I'm going to go my way because of mine. I remember what we ain't laid aside nothing.
Amen.
God allowed the events to happen in history as it is to pull us together as one. And we still look at things and we still hold things. But we're saved. Doesn't mean you don't forget history. History should be teaching you how not to repeat the same thing.
Amen. Right.
And I hope the whole world catch this message this morning. I hope all the way up to our federal government they catch it. Because we're supposed to be moving forward, but we're still living in the past while pretending to live presently. But our past control our present, and that's how we live while we pull the wool over the eyes of Satan.
Amen.
Lucifer, the accuser of the brethren. He getting all the credit for what's going on because he got all of these saved, sanctified vessels and these half saved, sanctified vessels and all of these vessels that ain't sanctified and saved at all and all of these backslidden vessels that are out there that are waiting to be used by him while they pretend that they're doing the things of God. Read the scripture today. Read the gospel. Some of us, if we read it, we'll think that we got life in him, and Jesus already said that you don't. Because if he did, you would be changing. See, we don't want, lips keep us from really changing.
Yeah.
Because all we need is somebody's lips to say the right word that we've been waiting on, to have the excuse to stay where we are, to continue to hold what we're holding and never move forward. So God bless you today. God keep you today. The doors of the church are open. We extend the invitation of discipleship today. We offer Christ to you today. There may be somebody watching There may be those of you that are here today.
Uh-huh.
From what God has said today, I pray that you heard the Spirit of the Lord and didn't hear John Garrett, didn't hear Pastor Garrett, didn't hear Apostle Garrett. I hope you heard the Spirit of God today, because lips have been getting us in trouble. Lips have caused us in trouble. Lips have kept us in trouble. Lips can either build us or destroy us. All it took throughout the century and throughout history is the lips of people to say things to cause war. God himself, when he wanted to fight the battle for Israel, all he had to do was have a word spoken by one, and he destroyed many of Israel's enemies just by a word. God spoke the word out of his mouth with no sound, and Christ began to cause all of what you see to come into existence, and the Spirit of God, the third person of the Trinity, began to give its essence, its sound, its scenery. It gave it its soundness, it gave it its substance, because his lips moved and it came out. And they done it. Words go out just like a seed, and it finds the ground, whether it's good ground or bad ground. All you got to do is say it in the right hearing of the right folk. And when you get into the ears of the folk, they're looking for the negativity that's there. When they get into the hearing of the folk, they're looking for the gossip. They're looking for the reason why not to be a part of the church. Oh, I want that child. You know, she's single, man. Let's go over there and see if we can get a man. Or, you know, he's single, child. Well, they might have somebody. I don't know. Well, I found out they had two people at the same time, and they made a decision to be with one, and they don't want me no more. So let me tell you how bad it. Come on, y'all, talk to me now. Let's get quiet right now.
Wow.
Well, see, this is, let me tell you why you shouldn't be there. Well, their whole motive is to see how many she can get into bed, how many he can get into bed. And I know we're still lying, and I wanted to be lying, because see, lips will get you in trouble. Lips will stop folk, and folk will let lips stop them from getting what God really wants them to get, and then they'll lie about what they got from God, because they're mad because their program didn't go over. So now the lips that God blessed them with, God raised them with, God anointed them with, God began to build them with, God caused them to mature with, that them lips had never told them nothing at all. They got it from God himself. They ain't saying that, they just were along for the ride.
Right.
Come on, y'all, talk to me. Lips have kept folk from going to the place. And folk have had lips to drive them from the place and go to somewhere because, you know, I just want to be a part. I don't want to be used by nothing. I just want to go to church. Well, first of all, you go to church every time you get up. Every time you get some water, your cold drink, your alcohol, your cigarettes, your cigars, your left-handed cigarettes, your pipe, your hookah, whatever it is that you got, you're going to church. Because even when you have not come all the way in, and if you have come all the way in and you decide to leave out because you had an excuse why you left the local assembly, which is where the church come together, you still the church if you really had gotten saved. If salvation really came to you and you were saved by grace, because it's God's gift, and it wasn't no works that you did, but it was God's gift because you had faith in God through Jesus Christ, and the Spirit of God draws you unto him, and you confess with your mouth, and you really believe in your mind, your heart, that he is the Son of God, that he did dwell in the flesh, that he did die by the flesh, he rose and now received a glorified flesh, he tabernacled for 40 days, making sure the message of the gospel was sound and substance was given. He took a flight and went back to heaven, seated at the right hand of God, received his glory before he left, that when he went back to heaven in glory, they received him the same way he did when he left, and he sent back the third person of the Trinity while he indwells in us and still dwell in heaven at the same time. If you did get saved by that, you're still the church.
Amen.
You just left the assembly.
Amen.
You backslid from God. You had lips to pull you away from God. And them same lips have kept you from getting back with God. So let me help us today. The invitation is put out. He's still saying come. He's still saying take my yoke. He's still saying the Spirit said come. The bride said come.
Yes.
He's still saying behold I stand at the door and knock. If any man will hear my voice and will open unto me, he said, I will come in and I will sup with him. He still said, the day that you hear my voice, harden not your heart. Same thing he said in the wilderness. He said, look, don't harden your mind. When he said hard, he ain't talking about that four-wheel thing that's set off to the left center of your chest, that have four chambers, that have a right atrium, a left atrium, have a right ventricle, a left ventricle, that have a septum that divides all four chambers. He ain't talking about that. He's talking about your mind, because the seat of your intellect, where you're able to reason that. He's talking about harden not your heart. Don't get a hard mind to what he said. He said, harden not your heart, receive me.
Yes.
I kept you. I know he kept me.
Amen.
I know I had some thoughts that wasn't right. I know Sunday mornings when I got ready to come into the house of worship, my thoughts ain't always been about God. Y'all ain't got to tell on y'all, but I'm going to tell on y'all. My thoughts have been to want to call some folk on Sunday morning and tell them, don't go to God's house. You doing all of this and that and the third. You said this, that, and the third. My mouth done said that. My mouth done said in my head, you know you ain't coming here for no good. I can't do that though. That God said, no, let them come. I'm going to deal with it. That's why he said, let the wheat and the tare go together. I'm going to separate it when I come. He ain't just talking about the day when he cracked the eastern sky. God separate for it right now.
Amen.
Let your lips say what you want, baby. I can be wrong. Say what you want against me. I'm not going to fight you.
Amen.
Right.
I done had folks say, oh, you ain't man enough. You ain't going to defend yourself. Defend myself for what? Because whether I defend myself for right or wrong, you going to still assume that I'm wrong. So the best thing for me to do is hush my mouth.
Amen.
I'm going to show you my Christianity. Jesus could have defended himself, but when they came against him, the Bible said he opened out his mouth. He was like a sheep before his shearers dug. He had a right to defend himself. If he'd opened his mouth, they all would have died. So guess what? Sometimes you got to learn to keep your mouth shut. Sometimes you got to let your lips be silent. Silence sometimes is the best weapon. Because in silence, they wondering what it is. Maybe they know something. Maybe they gonna say something. Maybe I don't know. Let me be careful what I'm saying, because they gonna tell on me. You know, folk think like that, right? So here's the invitation. What does that have to do with extended invitation? Because he said, "Come unto me, all ye that labor." You've been out there laboring in sin. You've been out there fighting with sin. You done come out of sin, and you trying to figure out where you have to go now. What do you need to do now? You've been praying and asking God, where should I go? Who should I run to? Where should I be a part of? What should I do to be able to gain some strength? Is there any ministry out there? Where do you want me to go to learn of you? How can I take your yoke upon me? What do you mean by your yoke is easy and my burdens are light? What do you mean by that? You said, I'm heavy laden. Yeah, I got a whole lot of stuff. I'm not sinning like I used to sin. I'm doing everything to be righteous, but I'm not part of a local assembly. I'm not really growing like I want to grow. I'm giving to a local church, but I haven't planted myself in the church. You got some folk that are tired, but they ain't really part of the ministry, and they want all the benefits that God given the ministry, but they don't want to be a part of the ministry. They don't want to tag along. You got some folk that just put up a folk in a relationship because of the benefit of the relationship, but they don't want the relationship.
Right.
You got folk that want the relationship that God has to offer because of the benefit, but they don't want to be in the relationship, because to be fully committed means I got to change.
Amen.
You want to know why people got a problem with being committed? Some folk have a problem being committed, and it just come from on high. Because being committed means I got to change.
Amen.
And when I got to change, I cannot continue on the same path that I've been comfortable with all my life.
Amen.
And because some folk don't want to change, it's hard for them to be committed. But those that really want to change, and the other person that want them to be committed, have a problem when they're committed, because they still got to struggle.
My God, my God.
And because they got to struggle in themselves, they don't want to help the person with the struggle that they got, because they feel they should be man or woman enough to handle that struggle on their own. If they did, they wouldn't have been able to come to you and say, I want to be committed, but I got to struggle. See, somebody that don't really want to be committed ain't going to just admit to you they got to struggle, or if they do, that's a cover-up. But when they really want to come out of struggle, they sincerely ask you, come on, y'all.
Right.
When you came to Jesus, you wanted him to change you, right?
Amen.
When you committed to him, you committed to the fact that you were going to struggle, but he was committed to helping you. That's why I see under the law, it was your responsibility to stay right. Under grace is God's responsibility through Christ to keep you right. Because he already know the law, you wasn't going to be able to do it. You were still going to do what you wanted to do. But under grace, he knew that even if you did, he had the power to bring you back. Because under the law, I'm supposed to kill you. But under grace, I give you another chance. I'm going to let you have life because I know what I put in you. And I put in them earthen vessels a gift, and I want my gift out of that vessel.
Amen.
See, some folks figure because they got invested time and they've invested in folk, that's why some folks stay.
because they want to have the benefit of their investment. But here's the thing that has to happen. Some folk God want out of your life because you still don't get the benefit of your investment if you invested for the right reasons. And the vested time that was there is really not wasted time because it should have built you while you were vesting the time. In other words, vested time means that I took the time to get to know them, learn them, for them to learn me. And I implemented some things in them. I imparted a gift in them. Now, whether or not they use it right now or later, whether or not they use it while we're together or not, sooner or later they're going to have to either use the gift or God will take the gift.
Amen.
So God bless you today. God keep you today. We thank God for this first Sunday. Lips. I want to put it on your mind. Lips. Think about your lips. Think about what your lips want to say right now. Think about how during service lips are saying, I wish they hurry up. In every church around the world, everybody saying that the preacher that went over 15 minutes, if he done went 30 minutes, 35 minutes, they need to sit down. They know people mind go in and out. Uh-oh. Go to the concert and let your favorite singer get up and they do all the talking before they sing the first song. You might say something, but you ain't going to get up and leave. Two reasons you want to hear. The other reason, you done paid $50 to $75 to $150 for the ticket, and some folks done paid $1,350 for a ticket, and their favorite singer don't even do all of what they normally do on the album, but when they live and in person, they doing all of this talking because they done got your money. And you going to sit there for it. Even your gospel favorite person that they get up there and they're going to do a whole lot of jaw jabbing. And they ain't going to give you your money's worth. They're going to make you think they got it. But they're going to do all that talking and you're going to go through it and you're going to get in it and they're going to hype you up and you think you had a good time. Get to the service where you go to church at. You want Lord to hurry up and sit down. You want the singer that's always singing. You want the musicians. You want the dancers. You want everybody to hurry up. But you go to the place that you really want to go to. And you're going to put up with what's going on.
Amen.
Lips. So God bless you. God keep you today. So we pray that God have given you something. Join us this Wednesday again as we continue our lesson on growing in grace, as we go back into it and dig a little bit deeper in our lesson on grace. So we invite you out to come with us on next Sunday. One of our preachers is going to be preaching. I'm not preaching. I'm sitting down. I want to be fed on next Sunday. So I'm going to tell you now, y'all be ready. And whoever God tell me to preach, just be ready to preach. Don't get ready to preach just because you know you're going to be called. I need you to be ready to preach because the Spirit of God have led you to be ready.
Amen.
Is that all right?
Amen.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
Amen. Amen. So God bless you. God keep you today. Those of you that have what you have to give, let us go on and pick up. You can stop the recording. We're going to go on and do that. This is also our community.